Hello, hello, prospective candidates. So we did a webinar, we did a consultancy space earlier on, which was great to have so many questions. But I wanted to, for everyone else who might be in the process of putting in an application to become an LCP and is still considering it, and wanted to have a bit more about what the job description as an LCP requires, I wanted to give this quick recording and also the resource so you can do it, and then you can fall forward with all the applications. So this is the job description booklet. Now the first thing is we've discovered and we discussed a bit about EB responsibilities. So not only being an LCP does that mean that you're a president, but it means that you're responsible for the executive board as a whole. And as a requirement, there's a fair amount of EB responsibilities that you should be aware of. The first thing is responsible for co-creation of an LC plan, for giving input on a local level for strategies and investments, for attending all EB meetings and LCMs, that you need to be present at all team bonding and team creation spaces. But as the LCP, you need to be the one driving these. You have communication between the LC and the MC. Also, regular national and local reporting. You're attending any monthly and quarterly review spaces that you as the LCP will be driving. That you're present at all national conferences during your term. You implement any national strategies, and you take part in network calls and functional summits. Which there will be several for LCPs, and we have a monthly call scheduled as well. So that's that. The EB responsibilities of being a team leader. So what you might wonder is what is a team leader? A team leader is an individual managing a minimum of two people for a minimum of 3 months. And therefore, this applies to LC product heads, but it also applies to LCPs because you have a minimum of at least 2 people in your EB, and it's for a 12-month period. So what we have here is just a bit clearer, the team standards broken down. So as an EB member, as the LCP, you'll be overseeing all of the team standards for your EB members. So all the building, team creation, team plan, individual plan, all around performance. How do you elevate your results? How do you track performance? How do you have a support system? And closing at the end of your term, how do you debrief? What do you do for transition? And also, how do you have an individual debrief? So these are the different aspects of being a team leader in general, and what the LCP role will also require. But in general, the main responsibility of being an LCP, first, you'll be accountable to me as the MCP, Ruth, the MCVPOD, at the LCP Commission, and your LCD managers as well, and you're the manager of the EB. Overall, your general role is to facilitate implementation of the vision. You manage the EB to ensure efficiency, and you represent AIESEC in the external environment and in the AIESEC network. Now, there's different aspects of the role, and the way that I best show and best explain this is there's a triangle, and in that triangle, there's 3 different areas. The 3 different areas is being a leader, being a manager, and being the face. The face being the representative role, the leader being the person that is ensuring that the AIESEC way and the vision is managed, but also creating it and building all the ideas and strategies to take your LC from place A to place B. And then finally, the manager, which makes sure that all operations are happening and you are constantly pushing towards your LC growing during your term. So as you can see, there's also a few main responsibilities like strategic direction, reporting and accountability. I'm not going to read through them all. You can go through these in your own time. It's all here. It's all clear. If you have any questions, then feel free to reach out by all means. We're more than happy to help. Also, another one is team management, and an emphasis on team management. You as LCPs will not be doing operations yourself. You will be facilitating and helping the people that are driving them to make sure that they're all aligned on the same direction, and that you're tracking and making sure that things actually happen. At the same time, you'll be building and fostering the culture that allows that to happen, and is making sure that you're planning together with your EB for each quarter, whether you're the one that will be doing all the coaching for your EB team for their own development. You're working with the VPTM to ensure there's continuity and quality of the future EB. You should always be thinking about what are the next steps to be to get a successor and to get your next the LCP for the entity to be sustainable. And like that's just a few aspects. There's a lot more covered here, and I'll let you go through. Like pause the video, take some more time. And then representation in AIESEC is representing at not just local level and national, but also international levels, and making sure that you are like the face and like the leader for your LC when you attend any local meetings, national conferences. You're role modeling those kind of behaviors that you set up and you want to see within the function and within the LC. You build the relations to build representatives for other LCs, but also you build the relations with anything around student unions, universities, all these different like stakeholders. That's very, very, very important. That you're aware of as well, and that you can improve the LC image nationally and internationally. You'll also have to attend legislation and the legislative meetings, which means like as the LCP, you are the drivers of change within the organization. If you want AIESEC in Manchester or AIESEC in Nottingham or AIESEC in Cardiff to go a certain direction, you being LCP allows you to do that, and I really encourage you to dream big, like go for the moon. At the end of the day, we're not going to be the best we've ever been if we always like let our fears hold us back and let our temptations hold us back, because we have the potential, we have the ability to be huge, and we have the ability to be great, but there's something lacking, and you guys can be that driving force to allow that to be unlocked as a whole. And finally, external representation. So not only do you represent within AIESEC, but you represent externally. So you might have board of advisors, an alumni database, if there's any external meetings that you support your VPs, having strategic partnerships, you're maintaining the partnerships and collaborations with the University Students' Union, you're doing everything you need to be the president of your in your university as a whole, and you're enhancing the credibility of AIESEC through any external events. It's essentially an aspect of PR in this, which is a beautiful thing as a whole. Now, overall, the skills you'll gain, these are just a few of them, but like I can guarantee if you ask any of the current Deltas, the current LCPs, like what did they gain from the roles, they can say they gained so much more. But you'll definitely gain skills around team management, stakeholder management, communication, time management, public speaking, crisis management, and leadership. Other ones that you'll also cover and you'll include is delegation, prioritization, effectiveness, and also things like this, and coaching and doing performance reviews on one-to-ones. Like these are things that you will also encounter, which is great setting you up later on in life, because it gives you the skills that you need to do any other role at a very young time in your career as well. The main KPIs and measures of success, that you'll be focused on and be tracked on, is the percentage of team standards implementation in your executive team, which is all of these, just so you're aware, so you're not confused. The number of results you get in each of the different products, the sum of income that comes in from the exchanges, and the number of VP and members applying for the next positions for the next term. And overall, you can tell if you're having a successful term or not by the growth in your LC. If last year your predecessor was able to do 30 exchanges overall, but you're only able to do 20, then overall, it means there's something lacking for you guys to be able to achieve that goal. Because with the right commitment, the right focus, the right dedication, you guys can achieve growth in anything if you set your mind to it. It's all about you having the right ambition, the right direction, and the right vision. And then when you have the right vision, getting your team on board to make sure that you are aware of that. Now, the MC will support in a lot of these aspects. We will come in and we'll support you in your planning, because you'll need to host planning and replanning spaces, monthly reviews and quarterly reviews as well. So you're constantly adapting and you're constantly becoming more agile and improving. But also on top of that, you'll also need to focus on how you run the election process for the next year as a whole, and how you can build and foster a culture that you want to see in your LC. Because at the end of the day, the beauty is being LCP, and this is what I say to everyone, is it's the opportunity where you're on the ground still driving operations, but you can shape AIESEC in Manchester, AIESEC in Warwick, AIESEC in Aberdeen, whichever entity you're part of, AIESEC in that entity, you can shape the direction. And you can say, these are the building blocks I'm going to put down in my term, because in 3 years, I want to see the entity at this level. So let's really like focus on that. And like some of the competencies that are like focused and desired is having a growth area, which is being data savvy, focusing on continuous improvement. You need to have empathy. So you're either customer obsessed, where focusing on customer centric operations, and you're integrating and include others so they feel connected. You want to be eager, you need to spark ambition and drive achievement. And also you need to be agile by being resilient and setting the pace. Because as the LCPs, you are the leaders of the organization, the leaders of your LC, and everything you do, everyone else behind you will follow. So these are the core things that you have right now. This is everything that we've got for today. You can go through the pack in a bit more detail, and don't hesitate to reach out if you have